Hare Krishna. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundarada Shama Sundarade Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitya Gaura Haribo 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 Nitya Gaura Haribo Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I'd like to welcome all of you to our second session on the Ramayana. Today, we're going to be speaking on some really wonderful and very insightful stories from the life of Hanumanji. And what we're going to learn today is going to be something that you will probably want to remember for quite a long time. And it'll definitely make all of you very happy. Let me begin by telling you all a very interesting episode in the Ramayana. When Lord Ram sent the Vanara army to search for Mother Sita, the different parts of the army were sent in different directions. Some were sent to the north, some were sent to the west, some were sent to the east, and some were sent to the south. The section of the army that was sent to the south comprised of some of the most powerful Vanaras, including Hanumanji, Jambavan, Nala, Neela, Angad. So, when the army went to the southern direction, they were very enthusiastic to begin with. And all of them were very, very enthusiastic about finding Mother Sita. Sita represents Bhakti Devi. All of us are also trying to find Sita in our lives. We are all trying to find Bhakti Devi in our lives. And this search of the Vanaras trying to find Sita is exactly like our search for finding Bhakti. And what we're going to see, what the Vanaras go through, is exactly what we all go through in our journey of finding Bhakti. It's a very interesting parallel, So the Vanaras began their search for Bhakti Devi. Angad was right in the front. He was the leader among them. He was right in the front. And Hanumanji was right at the back. Angad represents our intelligence. And Hanumanji represents our faith. To tread on the path of bhakti, you need both the things. You need intelligence and you need faith. In fact, Krishna in the Gita speaks about this. He says in the 10th chapter of the Gita, 8th verse, Aham sarvasya prabho matas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante maam buddha bhava samanvitaha. He says, Aham sarvasa prabho, I am everywhere. Mata sarvam pravartate, from me everything emanates. Iti matva bhajante mam. Anyone who understands this, and bhajante means and worships me. And then he uses two very interesting words. He says, Buddha bhava samanvitaha. Samanvitaha means combination. Combination of what? Buddha means buddhi or intelligence. And bhava means emotions or faith. Samanvitaha means combined together. So that means when we connect with God, you have to use your intelligence also and you have to have faith also. But how to have them, that's what the story is about. So in the beginning of our spiritual journeys, intelligence should be ahead. Angad was right in the front. And Hanumanji was right at the back. So that means in the beginning of our spiritual journeys, intelligence should be right ahead and faith should be at the back. A lot of people, we do exactly opposite. We keep your intelligence behind and put faith in the front. And they get connected with so many babas and so many people who lure them purely out of faith and tell them keep your intelligence behind and come. And there are a lot of people who actually keep their intelligence behind in the beginning of their journeys. And that's when they get completely bewildered. So here in this story, we find Angad is in the front and Hanumanji is at the back. Hanuman is Pavanaputra, represents the wind energy. When wind is from behind, it pushes you ahead. And wind blows from front, what happens? It slows you down, isn't it? Therefore, Hanumanji was at the back, pushing everybody ahead in their journeys. So when they began the journey, they were all enthusiastic. They were all excited. They were all convinced that today we will find Sita. That's what happens in the beginning of everyone's spiritual journeys. Very enthusiastic, We are all very excited. Few months pass, and then a year passes, and then 2 years pass, and all the excitement comes down. And then we start wondering, so then these monkeys, they entered into a forest, which is known as the forest of doubts. The forest was intense, hot. There was no water to drink, there was no food to eat, and the monkeys were suffering like anything. No sign of Sita. It's been a month. They have been searching for Sita, but no sign at all. And suddenly these monkeys start having doubts. Does Sita exist? Are we wasting our time finding Sita Devi? Is this really sensible? They start having all these kind of doubts. So in the beginning of the spiritual journey, we are like very clear, tomorrow only we'll go back to Godhead. And after a few months and a few years, we suddenly realize it's not so easy, When you drive a screw into the wall, the first little part of driving the screw you can do with your hand only. Tuck, 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 you can rotate, it goes smoothly in. But that last little bit, it takes all your energy, isn't it? It really put your energy into it. That's how devotion is. The first part of your devotional life, it's very smooth and very, very easy. It almost seems simple. But the last part, it'll take every ounce of your energy. It'll test every bit of what you have inside you. So all these monkeys, they reached this forest and they were really, really bewildered. There was only one among them who was not feeling the heat, who was not feeling exhausted, and that was Hanumanji. The reason was very interesting. When all the monkeys left one after another, they all met Lord Ram for a few seconds. Lord Ram patted them, he touched their heads, he encouraged them in different ways, and he kind of very personally reciprocated with each of them. And the monkeys were really enthusiastic by the little reciprocation that they had by Lord Ram. But finally, when it came to Hanumanji, Hanuman did something very interesting. When Lord Ram wanted to connect with Hanumanji and bless him, Hanumanji touched the feet of Lord Ram. He held the feet of Lord Ram. And Lord Ram naturally, if somebody touches your feet, what do? You pick up the person, right? So Lord Ram touched the shoulders of Hanumanji to pick him up. Hanumanji told Lord Ram, my dear Lord, freeze there. Let us remain in this pose forever. And what was the pose? His hands were at the feet of Lord Ram, and the hands of Ram were at the shoulders of Hanumanji. And Hanumanji said, as long as my hands are at your feet, your hands will be on my shoulders. And the moment I take my hand off your feet, your hand will come off my shoulders. He said, I don't want to do that. I want to remain like that only. What does that represent? Hanumanji's hand being at the feet of Lord Ram represent that he is taking shelter of the feet of Ram. And Ram's hands being on Hanuman's shoulders, what does that represent? The shoulder is a place where all action happens. Whatever you do in your life, you do with the help of your shoulders, right? It's a place of ability. So Ram's hand being on the shoulder means what? That means whatever you do is empowered by the Lord. So when does Ram's hand come on your shoulders? If your hand is at the feet of Ram, that's when. So Hanumanji, when he came, so then what Ram did was, Ram put both his hand on the head of Hanumanji. So when Ram did that, Hanumanji closed his eyes. And for one moment, he just savored that experience of both the hands of Ram being on his head. And then from that time onwards, wherever he went, whatever he did, he felt the hand of Ram on his head. Now the sun, he doesn't feel the heat. Why? Ram's hand on his head. There is so much of chaos. He doesn't feel the chaos. Why? Because Ram's hands are on his head. So that's the experience that all of us need to start having with God. See, the reality is that we all have such experiences. I am sure each and every one of you would have had some experience where you felt the hand of God on your head. But those experiences are very momentary for us. We don't remember them. We tend to forget them. But just like Hanumanji savored that moment, he just focused on that moment so intensely. Similarly, we all need to just absorb that moment. Whenever we experience a little reciprocation of God in your life, just absorb that moment and savor that moment so intensely. That moment will stay with you for the rest of your life. I'll share with you a moment that happened with me many years back. And I'm sure as I share my experience, you will all have your own little experiences. And all of you will agree that these experiences are so special and so unique. Many years back, about 10 years back, when I started writing my books, this is the first book I ever wrote in my life. I wrote the Ramayana first volume. And after I wrote the first volume of Ramayana, I started having a lot of doubts in my mind. Am I doing the right thing? Am I even the right person to write books on Ramayana and the 6-volume series straight away? Am I too overambitious? Am I qualified? I started having all these doubts. And at that point in time, in the whole of the ISKCON world, at least in ISKCON Chowpatty, no one had written any books. And I was kind of treading into a new path. My first book became a bestseller, and so it was really bewildering for me. I started having a lot of self-doubts, whether I'm going the right direction. That particular time, I happened to go to Mauritius for a visit. They invited me for some lectures, etc. And in that trip, there were many events organized, but there was one Bhagavatam class that I was invited to give in one temple there. It was an unplanned event. They just randomly told me the previous evening that, next day morning, can you give a class? I said, fine, I'll give. They didn't even tell me what verse it is. I went there, sat on the Vyasasan, and then opened the book, Completely spontaneous. It was 2 verses from the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. When I saw those 2 verses, I literally had tears in my eyes. I'll tell you why. The Srimad Bhagavatam has 18,000 verses. Out of the 18,000 verses, 2 chapters in the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is about Ramayana. 9th canto of the Bhagavatam has 2 chapters dedicated to Ramayana. And in the remaining, 12 cantos, 11 cantos, no Ramayana is there. Nowhere there is Ramayana. Except 2 verses in the third canto. And that day, those 2 verses only came for me. What is the possibility out of 18,000 verses? And that too, the Bhagavatam is going on sequentially in this temple. What is the possibility in 18,000 verses, only those 2 verses coming to me? Is there any chance? It's impossible. When I saw that, that was my experience of Krishna. I said, Bas, that's it. I got my answer today. And from that day, I became Vilas. I was really inspired to do what I'm doing. All of us have these moments. But how many of us remember these moments? And how many of us internalize these moments? And how many of us actually live these moments all lifelong? And that's exactly what Hanumanji did that day. So as these Vanaras were searching all over, they were going, climbing trees, they were going inside caves, they were diving deep into oceans, and they were going inside rivers, searching high and low for Mother Sita. And they couldn't find Sita anywhere. Finally, the Vanaras came across a mountain on which there was a cave. This was a deep, dark cave. The cave was so dark that if you put your hand inside the cave, you can't even see your hand. That dark. Angad so far was leading, and Hanumanji was right at the back. But when Angad saw this cave, he froze. He said, I can't go in. He said, I can't go in. You know why Angad said, I can't go in? Because all the problems in his father Vali's life began with caves only. Vali went into one cave, and that's when all trouble began in his life. Angad said, I will not go into a cave. Never know what happens, So when Angad said, I can't go in, Hanumanji said, I'll go in. And Hanumanji came in the front and straight walked into the cave. As I said, Angad represents intelligence and Hanumanji represents faith, right? There will be some problems in your life which intelligence cannot help you solve. Whenever you come across problems in life that intelligence cannot help you solve, that is the time to bring faith ahead and send intelligence behind. So in the beginning of your spiritual life, you have intelligence in the front and faith at the back. But at some point in your journey, you will come across a situation where your intelligence is not enough for you. Logic and reasoning is not able to help you solve your problem. Whenever you come across problems in life where intelligence, logic, reasoning is not able to help you, that is the time to put your intelligence behind and bring your faith ahead. Hanumanji came in, straight walked into the cave. Hanumanji didn't say, get me a torch. Hanumanji didn't say, I can't see anything. He just walked in straight with a full faith that Ram is guiding me. He just walked in straight with full faith. And there was a monkey behind Hanumanji. The fellow behind Hanumanji, he caught tail of Hanumanji and walked in along. The third person behind that person, he caught the tail of the second monkey and walked along. The fourth person caught the tail of the third monkey and walked along. In some time, all the monkeys walking in, holding each other's tail. This is called Guru Parampara. Guru Parampara means what? I haven't seen God. I don't know God. I don't have faith in God. But I have faith in the person ahead of me. That's all. And that person has faith in the person ahead of him. That's all. And that person has a faith in the person ahead of him. That's all. Somebody way ahead has complete faith in God. For me, I only have faith in the fellow that is in front of me. That's what Guru Shishya Parampara essentially is. All of us, we may not have seen God, but there is someone way ahead in the Parampara who has seen God, who has experienced God, and who has complete faith in God. I simply have faith in the person right in front of me. That's the power of Parampara. There was once a journalist. He came and met a Varkari person. I don't know how many of you know what Varkari is. Varkari Sampradaya is a very interesting Sampradaya in Maharashtra. They are very, very strong followers of Vitthal in Pandharpur. And many of these people, every year they take a vow that on Ashad Ekadasi day, they will enter Pandharpur and have darshan of Vitthal. And the way they take this vow is that they walk for months together from wherever they are, and they reach on the day of Ashad Ekadasi to Pandharpur. Many of them walk without slippers, barefoot, they walk, for months together sometimes. There's one man who did this for 75 years. Every year he went for Ashad Ekadasi. So one journalist caught this person and he interviewed him. And this journalist asked him, "You have been going 75 years to Pandharpur on Ashad Ekadasi. Have you seen Vitthal?" And this journalist, left liberal guy, logical thinking guy, he wants to know, have you seen Vitthal? Obviously, he has a tendency to, kind of just prove that, God doesn't exist, etc. This man asked him a very interesting question. He said, "In your street where you stay, are there dogs?" And this journalist was confused. He said, "I am asking question about, whether you have seen Vitthal, and he's asking about dogs in my street." So the journalist said, "Yes, there are many dogs in my street, And this person said, "When one dog barks, do all other dogs bark?" He said, yes. One dog barks in the middle of the night, that's all. 10, 20 dogs are barking one after another, Then he said that one original dog which began to bark saw something and began to bark. Saw some thief or something and began to bark. All other dogs have faith in this fellow. This original fellow, dog who saw. He said, if dogs can have so much faith in each other, why can't I have faith in my predecessor Acharyas? I have not seen Vitthal, but someone ahead of me has seen. That's all. I have full faith that Vitthal exists. This is what Guru Parampara is all about, isn't it? So, whenever we come across such situations in life, we should know the difference between faith and intelligence. In the beginning of your spiritual life, keep your intelligence ahead and faith behind. And at a later stage in your spiritual life, when you come across situations where intelligence is not able to help you, put your intelligence behind and bring your faith ahead. And that's what the whole idea of this story is. I'm going to tell you all a very beautiful story of Hanumanji. And this story teaches us a very, very interesting lesson. Just before the battle, during the battle of Ram and Ravan, there was a particular point when Ravan initiated a sacrifice, which is known as Chandi Stotra. And when this Chandi Stotra was initiated, Vibhishan came to know that Ravan has begun this Chandi Stotra. And Vibhishan came to know that this Chandi Stotra will make Ravan practically invincible. So Vibhishan went to Lord Ram and told him that, we are in big trouble. This Ravan has begun Chandi Stotra. Ram called Hanumanji. And Ram told Hanumanji, go and do the needful. So when Hanumanji gets such open-ended assignments, he loves it, No control. So Hanumanji, he took a very tiny form of a bumblebee and went into this arena where the Chandi Stotra was going on. And when he found this place where the Chandi Stotra was going on, he got shocked to see the person who was actually, officiating the Chandi Stotra was Brihaspati, the guru of the gods. So Hanumanji became really shocked. How come Brihaspati has come here? And he's siding Ravan. And then Hanumanji realized that Brihaspati has not come voluntarily. He has been forced to come and held at gunpoint, literally. So Brihaspati was chanting the Chandi Stotra, and Hanumanji took he was the form of a bee. He sat on the palm leaves which Brihaspati was holding in his hand. And with his feet, he began to rub off the verses of the Chandi Stotra. But Hanumanji saw that Brihaspati was not even referring to those verses. He had it by heart. He was just chanting by memory. And Hanumanji realized that I need to do something to confuse and bewilder Brihaspati. From the palm leaf, suddenly Hanuman took a very ghastly form and popped out. Imagine you're holding something and from inside that something comes out, It's scary, isn't it? Brihaspati got so scared for a moment when he saw that ghastly face come out from the palm leaf. He dropped it and began to run. He started panicking. And he completely forgot only the verses of Chandi Stotra after that. So Ravan understood, now this Brihaspati is useless for me now. But Ravan had a plan B. He had a group of Brahmanas who were the backup plan for Ravan in case Brihaspati doesn't cooperate. Ravan called the second team and this group of Brahmanas came. And Hanumanji took the form of a young Brahmana and joined this group. And this young Brahmana was so enthusiastic to serve all the older Brahmanas. He said, can I do anything for you? And he was serving all of them. The older Brahmanas very, very impressed with this young person coming to assist, Anybody who gets voluntary assistance is happy only, isn't it? And at some point, the older Brahmanas were so impressed with Hanumanji, they said, you ask for anything, we'll give you. Hanumanji said, I don't want anything for myself. I want something for my master Ravan. And they said, what do you want? Hanumanji said, when you chant the Chandi Stotra, at the end of the Chandi Stotra, there'll be a word called Harini. You just replace the word Ha by the word Ka. Instead of saying Harini, you say Karini. And when you say Karini, Ravana will get 100 times more benefit of Chandi Stotra. They said, okay, we'll do anything, what do you say? And they chanted the Chandi Stotra and they ended by saying Karini. And when they did that, instead of Chandi Devi being pleased with them, Chandi Devi becomes so angry, she destroyed the whole yajna. And the Brahmanas didn't even realize that they had made such a big error. By replacing that one letter, instead of the whole Chandi Stotra becoming a glorification of Chandi Devi, it became actually a criticism of Chandi Devi. From this verse, from this story, of course, Hanumanji goes back and joins Lord Ram. But from this story, we understand a very important principle of life. Knowledge is important. But more important than knowledge is application of that knowledge. A lot of us, we gain knowledge. We gain information, basically. But to transform that information into something that is practical, it requires something else. It requires wisdom. It requires guidance. And it requires a lot of realization. One time, one of our devotees, he was distributing books. This is in Mumbai. And he was on the streets of Mumbai distributing Bhagavad Gita. So he went to one man and he told this man that, can you please, will you please take Bhagavad Gita? This man got upset when this devotee told him this Bhagavad Gita for 80 rupees. So this man said, how dare you sell this Gita for 80 rupees? He said, Krishna gave Bhagavad Gita to Arjun for free. And you all are selling it, This is not fair. Imagine you are asked a question like that. What will you answer? This devotee spontaneously gave an answer. He said, yes, Bhagavad Gita is free only. But Krishna gave the Gita to Arjun in Kurukshetra. And this 80 rupees is transportation charge. Getting the knowledge from Kurukshetra to Bombay. People are simply wanting to somehow or the other, instigate you. But you should also have the wisdom to answer them. Where does the wisdom come from? Krishna, he speaks in the Gita. He says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam enamam upayantite. He says, when you worship me with love and devotion, I give you the intelligence by which you can overcome all obstacles, you can solve all your problems. So when we connect with Krishna, there is something very interesting that happens. One is knowledge, but Krishna also helps us get realization of that knowledge. And that's where the application is. Hanumanji had a very interesting combination of greatness and sweetness. Hanuman was powerful, but along with being powerful, he was also so sweet. See, not all great people are sweet, and not all sweet people are great. But Hanumanji is not just great, but he's also sweet. I'm going to share with you a very beautiful conversation between Mother Sita and Hanumanji that really talks about how Hanumanji is both great and sweet. So when Hanumanji reached Lanka and he was searching for Mother Sita all over the place, he was not able to find Mother Sita. Finally, he found this place known as Ashok Vatika. And he entered Ashok Vatika and he felt very strongly that Mother Sita should be there in Ashok Vatika. And lo and behold, under a Simshupa tree, Hanumanji saw Mother Sita. So when Hanumanji saw Sita, he was very eager to go and talk to her. But he saw that there are many Rakshasis around, so he didn't want to talk to her when people are awake, because it will become a messy thing. So he waited for everyone to go to sleep. Of course, Ravan came and tortured Mother Sita like anything, and there were so many things that happened in between. So Hanumanji patiently waited for the right time. Finally, everyone had gone to sleep. And after everyone went to sleep, Hanumanji thought he will jump down and go and meet Mother Sita. But the moment Hanumanji was about to jump and meet Mother Sita, suddenly something happened that made Hanumanji stop. What happened? Down Hanumanji saw Mother Sita had stood up. And she had taken her long hair. She put it over a branch of a tree. And she was going to hang herself. Now imagine, out of millions of Vanaras, one had reached Sita. And he's just about to start speaking to Sita, and she's here committing suicide. So Hanumanji was very disturbed. He was thinking, how do I stop her from ending her life? And as Hanumanji was thinking very quickly, he had to come up with a solution very quickly. See, in life, you need enthusiasm and patience together. Utsahat, Nischayat, Dhairyat. You need both. You need Utsaha also and you need Dhairya also. Sometimes you have to be enthusiastic and sometimes you have to be patient. So Hanumanji here was sitting on top of the tree and Sita was just next to him, but he was thinking very, very calmly, what should I do so that Sita does not get disturbed and end her life quickly? See, when somebody is on the verge of suicide and you have to try to convince that person not to do it, how sensitive you have to be, isn't it? Nowadays, you have to be sensitive with everybody. Anything you say, they can make anything out of it, isn't it? So Hanumanji is sitting over there and thinking, what should I say that will calm her down? So Hanumanji starts thinking, should I jump down in front of her and say, hey, I've come from Lord Ram? She might think that I am Ravan, disguised as a monkey and end her life faster. So Hanuman was thinking, what do I do to not make her make the mistake? And then suddenly Hanumanji realized there's only one thing that will help inspire Sita, and that is words. If I speak the right words have the power to completely change her mind and heart. So Hanumanji was thinking, I want to speak the right words. I have the right words also. But in what language should I speak? Hanumanji was thinking, should I speak in Deva Bhasha, which is Sanskrit? But Sita might think that this is Ravan speaking, because Ravan knows Deva Bhasha. So Hanumanji was thinking, should I speak in Prakrita Bhasha, which is the language of the Vanaras? So Hanumanji is thinking, maybe Sita won't know that Bhasha. And then Hanumanji realized, better I speak in Avadhi, the language of Ayodhya. In Lanka, nobody will know the language of Ayodhya. And the moment I speak the language of Ayodhya, Mother Sita will know there is somebody from Lord Ram's side who has come here. And then Hanumanji started speaking Avadi. And the moment Hanuman spoke, the first words came out from Hanuman's mouth. The voice of Hanumanji entered into Sita's ears. And Sita immediately froze. That particular point in time, Sita started experiencing some symptoms in her body. She had her hair around her neck. She was about to commit suicide. And in that moment, she experienced some good omens in her body. Her left eye, her left hand, and her left thigh were twitching. It is explained, Mother Sita had these three things happening simultaneously in her body only once in the past. And you know when that was? That was the day she was married to Lord Ram. That day she experienced the same omens. And today she's experiencing it after so many years. So she feels somewhere Ram is present around me. And Sita, she actually becomes calm. And then Mother Sita, she starts closing her eyes and absorbing the voice of Hanumanji. And Hanuman is narrating the Ramayana. He's narrating the entire story of Lord Ram. He's telling things that Sita doesn't even know, because Sita was not there in a lot of part of the Ramayana, isn't it? And as Sita was hearing the narration of Hanumanji, she was so mesmerized. She removed the tresses of her hair, she went and sat down, and she was looking up and hearing the Ramayana. This was the first official Ram Katha. And in the first official Ram Katha, the Kathakar is sitting on top on the tree and the hearer is sitting down. From that time onwards, that is the tradition. The speaker sits a little up and the listener sits a little down. So the first Kathakar is Hanumanji and the first listener is Mother Sita. And the interesting part is that as Hanuman is narrating the story of Ramayana, Sita wants to see who is the person who is narrating. But Hanuman has taken a very tiny form and is hiding behind some leaves. He is not visible to Mother Sita. So Sita is dying to see the speaker, but the speaker is not interested in showing himself. This is a sign of a good Kathakar. The sign of a good Kathakar is that he wants to keep himself hidden behind Ram. He wants to bring Ram in the front and keep himself hidden behind. Kathakars today do exactly opposite. They bring themselves in the front. If you go to Vrindavan and see these big posters, you will find the Kathakar's photo so huge and Krishna somewhere in some corner, basically. So Hanumanji was not interested in showing himself. He was hiding behind leaves. And finally, after a long period of time, after narrating the entire Ramayana, Hanumanji moves the leaves a little bit. And his head pops out. And his two tiny little eyes look at Mother Sita. And when Sita sees the first darshan of Hanumanji, she becomes so happy and so excited to see Hanumanji. So a good Kathakar is someone that the audience should be eager to hear and eager to see. And Hanumanji jumps ahead and lands on the floor where Mother Sita was seated. And Hanumanji has taken a very tiny form. He is like really less than her knees in size. And Hanumanji starts walking towards Mother Sita. And as Hanumanji is walking towards Mother Sita, his hands are folded. And it is explained that when you fold your hands, there are different parts of your body, that you fold your hands. Like if you fold your hands at your stomach level, that is offering respects to your mother. When you offer respects to your father, you fold your hands at your neck level. But when you offer respects to your guru, you fold your hands at your face level. And when you offer respects to God, you fold your hands above your head. And Hanumanji's hands are above his head when you approach Mother Sita. Highest level of reverence towards Sita. And he comes and he offers full obeisances to Mother Sita first. And then he gets up and is walking towards her. Sita tells him, "Hey, Ravan, stop there only." Now imagine if you are a devotee and somebody calls you Ravan. How bad you feel, isn't it? Hanumanji is thinking, why is she calling me Ravan? So Sita says, "Hey Ravan, I know that you have come in a form of honor. You can't fool me. Stop there." And then Hanumanji doesn't know what to do. And then Sita tells him, if you actually are a messenger of Lord Ram, here is a test for you. Now Hanumanji is wondering what test she is going to give. So he says, so Sita says, the test is that if you are really the messenger of Lord Ram, you should describe the beauty of Ram to me. Only if you describe the beauty of Ram properly, then I will believe that you are a messenger of Ram. Hanumanji smiled. What a test. His favorite question has come. Now imagine you're answering a test and the question that you have studied the most has come. Hanumanji loves to speak about Lord Ram. That's his favorite topic. And here is Sita who is telling him to speak about Ram. Hanumanji closes his eyes and from the bottom of his heart he begins to describe the beauty of Lord Ram. And he goes on to describe Lord Ram in so many details that Sita is mesmerized. Tears flow from her eyes constantly. And she realizes, this person is special. This person is something else. And then Sita and Hanumanji began to converse with each other. Just to prove that he is a messenger of Ram, Hanumanji removes the ring. And he shows the ring to Mother Sita. This ring is a very important ring. Because this ring has been given to Hanumanji by Lord Ram. It is explained that Hanumanji, as he was traveling from Kishkinda all the way to Lanka, he had a thought, where should I keep this ring? Should I keep this ring on my dhoti? He was thinking, during a fight, during flights, that ring might fall off. Should I keep the ring in my hand? But even then it might fall off. So Hanuman was confused where to keep this. Should I wear the ring? That's disrespectful. I can't wear Ram's ring. So he said there is only one place where Ram's ring should go. That ring had a very beautiful name of Ram written on it. Right on the top of the ring was written Rama. And where should the name of Ram go? In your mouth, isn't it? So Hanumanji kept the ring in his mouth all through the whole journey. And Ram Naam was in the mouth of Hanumanji. And Hanuman, it is said, there is a beautiful verse in the Hanuman Chalisa that says, Kanchana Varana Viraja Subesha, right? What is the meaning of Kanchana Varana? Of course, it means golden effulgence. But the Acharyas give a very beautiful explanation. How did Hanuman get that golden effulgence? It is said, the moment Hanuman kept that ring in his mouth, every pore of his body started shining because he was holding the Ram Naam in his mouth, And that's the Kanchana Varana we're talking about, So the body of Hanumanji started shining, shimmering so beautifully because he held the holy name in his mouth. So Hanumanji, when he was offering the ring to Mother Sita, he was thinking, how should I give the ring to her? Should I drop it like this? Usually that's how, if you're giving a ring to somebody, what you'll do? You'll drop it like this, right? Hanumanji is thinking, no, I can't do that. Because if I give the ring like this to Mother Sita, that means I'm greater than her. I'm giving her something. So he says, I will not give her because I don't have the adhikar to give her. So he held the ring in his hand like this. And she picked it from his hand. So that means what? He is not giving her, she is taking from him. So that made Sita more superior to him. Look at Hanuman, how much he is thinking. And for those of us who are thinking, we are overthinkers, Hanuman is like the bap of all overthinkers, But his overthinking is sensitive. His overthinking is very, very beautiful. So when Lord Ram and Hanumanji Sita and Hanumanji started having a conversation with each other, Hanumanji started narrating all the stories that only Sita and Lord Ram knew. And then Sita started narrating so many stories that only she and Ram knew. At some point, Hanumanji tells Mother Sita, my dear mother, just come with me. I will take you to Ram. Forget Lanka, forget Ravan. Just come with me, I'll take you to Lord Ram. And Hanumanji was very tiny at that point. And I said, he was literally less than her knees. Sita was wondering, he's so small, how will he take me? Now, obviously, she didn't want to tell him like that. So she told him, she just asked him a question. She said, are all Vanaras of Ram's army same size as you? Immediately Hanumanji understood. He's having doubts, So Hanuman expanded and shows his huge form to Mother Sita. And Sita is shocked seeing the transformation of Hanumanji. So then she asks him another question. She asks him, what is your original size? Are you small? Are you big? Are you medium size? Imagine if somebody's size keeps changing all the time, isn't it? So Hanumanji, he gives her a beautiful answer. Hanumanji tells Mother Sita, originally I am small. But for the mission of Lord Ram, I can take any size. This, according to me, is the definition of humility. This is the definition of what humility is. Many people misunderstand humility. Especially, if you are in the ISKCON circles, you ask anyone, Prabhuji, can you do this seva? And they'll say, no, Prabhuji, I am insignificant, I am useless, I can't do this, in the name of humility, you're actually lazy, basically. Look at Hanumanji. His answer is brilliant. He says, I am originally insignificant. But for the mission of Lord Ram, I can take any size. Size means responsibility. So Hanumanji is telling, I don't think I am great, but Ram can make me do anything. When they were jumping across the ocean, all the Vanaras were talking about how much they can do, right? So somebody said, I can do 10 miles, somebody said, I can do 20 miles, somebody said, I can do 50 miles, somebody said, I can do 100 miles. Angad said, I can do 800 miles, but I'm not sure if I can come back. So all the Vanaras said how much they can do. But Hanuman, he didn't open his mouth. So Jambavan understood that Hanuman is purposely not opening his mouth. You know why Hanuman didn't say how much he can do? Because according to Hanuman, the question only was wrong. Hanuman considers himself to be an arrow. How far the arrow goes, does it depend on the arrow? No. It depends on who's shooting the arrow, right? If a small child shoots the arrow will fall here only. But if Lord Ram shoots the arrow can cross the universe. So how far Hanuman goes doesn't depend on him. How far Hanuman goes depends on Ram. And Ram has a capacity to shoot unlimited distances, isn't it? And therefore, when Hanuman was asked how far you can jump, he doesn't open his mouth only. This is Hanumanji. A lot of us, we know Hanuman from the point of view of his greatness. But I am trying to present to you Hanumanji from the point of view of his sweetness. This is a part of Hanumanji that hardly anybody knows. This is a part of Hanumanji that hardly anybody meditates on. But this is a part of Hanumanji that is so special and so amazing. Let me tell you another story. One time, Hanumanji had a doubt in his mind. He was thinking, why does Ram love Sita so much? So Hanumanji decided to find out why Ram loves Sita so much. Hanumanji thought, Sita surely has some formula, some magic formula, something she does because of which Ram loves her so much. So Hanumanji decided, I am going to observe Sita and find out what is her trade secret. So one full day in Ayodhya, Hanuman was roaming around Mother Sita. Wherever Sita was going, Hanuman was going behind. So Sita was really, imagine a monkey following you everywhere, Strange, right? But Sita said, it's Hanumanji, so she didn't say anything. So at some point, Hanumanji saw Mother Sita sitting in front of the mirror and decorating herself. And Sita put a bindi, the sindoor on her forehead. Hanumanji didn't understand that. He asked her, hey, wait a minute, what did he just do? So Sita was thinking, how do you explain to a monkey? What is this, And that to a monkey which is a brahmachari, Very difficult, So Sita, just to make it very simple for Hanumanji to understand, she said, this red bindi, that red dot, it makes Ram very happy. That's it. Hanuman said, I found the trade secret. I found the secret of how Sita conquers Ram. Hanuman ran from there at full speed. Sita was wondering how he ran away, why he ran away. He ran across the streets of Ayodhya, went to one shop, and he found one big sack filled with red kumkum. He took that sack and emptied it on himself. Top to bottom, filled with red kumkum, And then he started walking on the streets of Ayodhya. Everybody started looking at him. He said, "What is this? Red monkey?" And then he went into the courtroom of Lord Ram. And after he entered the courtroom of Lord Ram, Ram was shocked to see. Everybody was laughing. And when Ram saw Hanuman, he started laughing like anything, rolling on the ground laughing. And Hanumanji was convinced, now Ram is happy with me. And then finally, somehow Ram controls his laughter and he asks him, "What did you do to yourself?" And then Hanumanji explains, he says, "My dear Lord, Mother Sita said, this little red dot on her forehead makes you so happy. I was thinking, if you're so happy with a little red on her forehead, how happy will you be if I'm fully covered with red? And therefore I made myself fully covered with red." The story is a very interesting story to think about. Now here's a person who is a superhero, isn't it? Such a powerful superhero. The world has never seen anyone like this, isn't it? I mean, Superman and Batman and He-Man and Ant-Man. The original is Hanuman, But such a powerful superhero, but he has the innocence of a child. That combination is impossible in this world. Most people, as they become powerful, they lose their innocence. They lose their childlike nature, isn't it? Hanumanji is not only powerful, but he still has retained that childlike nature, which is what makes him so attractive to our hearts, which is what makes him such a joy to connect with, such a joy to understand and learn from. One time, Hanumanji was so enthusiastic in serving, Lord Ram, that he would do all the services. Every single service in Ayodhya, Hanuman would do it. So before anyone could do anything, Hanuman already completed the seva. So all the devotees of Lord Ram were wondering, what is this? If Hanuman does everything, when we will do seva? They went to Mother Sita and complained to her, saying that this is too much, this Hanuman is doing everything. Give us some service at least. So Mother Sita called for a meeting. All the devotees came together, and from morning to night, whatever seva is needed for Lord Ram, they made a big list of it. And in that list, in front of every service, they put one name of a devotee who is in charge for that seva. And they made sure that Hanuman doesn't get any service in that list. And Mother Sita went to Lord Ram and she told him, "Can you please sign this document?" It's a legal document, So Ram saw that whole thing and he understood what these people are up to. But anyway, he signed it. He had full faith in Hanumanji's abilities, So the next day, Hanumanji came to do seva. And wherever he is going, somebody is telling him, "Hey, this is my department." He's showing the list, Hanuman is getting confused. Everywhere somebody is showing a list, And then Hanuman realizes that these guys have given me nothing. So he goes through the whole list and he goes to Mother Sita and he tells her, "My dear mother, if there is any seva that is not in the list, can I do it?" She said, yeah, absolutely. She was 100% sure there is no seva that is missed. Hanumanji went through the list very carefully. And he said, there is one service that is missing here. So Mother Sita asked, what? She said, when Lord Ram yawns, there is nobody to do like this. Snap in front of Lord Ram's mouth. So she said, what is this? Is that a seva? Hanumanji said, very important seva it is. Somebody has to be allotted that seva. And he took it on himself. So they said, fine, do it. So then Hanumanji went next to the throne of Lord Ram, standing next to his throne only. So Ram is looking at him, he's saying, what are you standing here? So Hanumanji says, you can yawn anytime. So I had to be there when you yawn, And obviously now nobody knows how to handle this. Whole day Hanumanji is standing next to Ram only, looking at him, intently, waiting for him to yawn. And then finally Ram finishes his whole day and he goes to his bedroom. Hanumanji follows him there also. Sita says, what are you doing here? Hanumanji says, he can yawn in the night also. I'll be there only. So Sita shoos him away. He said, no, you can't come here. She closes the door. Hanumanji is feeling so bad. He's thinking, I have only one seva. And what if Ram yawns and I am not doing my seva? So he decides to sit on the terrace of the building and continuously do this. Let Ram yawn anytime. I am doing my seva at least, And something interesting happens below. Below, where Lord Ram is sleeping, he suddenly starts yawning. Again and again and again. Sita has never seen him yawn so many times. Sita's wondering what's wrong with him. And at some point, Ram is yawning so continuously, his mouth remains open only, Sita gets really worried. She runs outside and calls everyone, something is wrong with Ram. And everybody is seeing Ram's mouth is so widely open, they're completely confused. Vashishta, the guru of Ram, when he sees this, he realizes something is really wrong here. He asks them, where is Hanuman? And they find Hanuman is missing. They went and find him. He is doing like this in the terrace. They catch him and bring him down. And Vashishta tells him, stop snapping. The idea was, when Ram yawns, he will snap. But now it became ulta. Whenever he is snapping, Ram is yawning. And finally they understood, you can't stop Hanumanji from doing seva. They cancelled that whole list. And then everything continued as it is. Now, I'm going to tell you all one last story. And this is my favorite. This story really talks about what an amazing person Hanumanji is. And when we meditate on Hanumanji, what is the way in which we should look at him and his contribution? One time, Narad Muni comes to meet Hanumanji. And Narad Muni, he tells Hanumanji that, my dear Hanuman, you are such a great devotee of Lord Ram. Do you know who is the greatest devotee of Ram? Hanumanji looks at Narad Muni and says, why should I know? Go and ask Ram. He has a big list. He has a diary of all the names of devotees. So Narad Muni said, oh, I didn't know there was a diary like that. So he goes to Lord Ram and he asks him, my dear Ram, do you have a diary with the names of all the devotees? Ram points out, there's a huge diary there. So Narad Muni goes, opens the diary and he starts reading the names. He's so excited to see his name is first in the list. And he goes through the whole diary, hundreds and thousands of devotees' names. And he finds Hanuman's name is not there only. He goes to Hanuman and he tells him, hey, you're such a great devotee of Ram. How come your name is not on the list only? I went through the whole diary. Your name is not there only. My name is first. Hanumanji asked him, did you see the small diary? Narad Muni is confused. He said, what? Is there a small diary? He said, yeah, go ask Lord Ram. So Narad Muni goes to Lord Ram and he asks him, my dear Lord, do you have a small diary? Ram removes a small diary from near his heart and gives it to Narad Muni. Narad Muni opens a small diary, and in that small diary, the first name is Hanuman. And he goes to the whole diary, his name is not there in the second diary. So now, Narad Muni is royally confused. Some names are there in the first diary, some names are in the second diary. The names in the first diary are not in the second diary, the names in the second diary are not in the first diary. He asks Ram, what is this, my dear Lord? Big diary, small diary, what's going on? Ram says, the first diary, the big diary, has the names of all those devotees who constantly remember me. And the small diary has the names of all those devotees whom I constantly remember. Now imagine, Hanumanji has reached the small diary of Lord Ram. Of course, we are all not in either of the diaries as of now. So our goal should be to get in one of the diaries first of all. But it is so much more difficult to get into the small diary of Lord Ram because the people that God wants to remember are very rare. Everyone wants to remember God. But for you to be remembered by God, you really need to have some special qualities in you. So imagine how special Hanumanji is that Ram wants to remember him. So all of us in our little endeavor, let us all meditate on these beautiful qualities that we discussed on Hanumanji. Now what I spoke is just a small fraction of what really the qualities of Hanumanji are. If some of you all want to really explore the qualities of Hanumanji, please go and read my books on Hanumanji that I have written. I have written almost 3 books on Hanumanji. I have written Chronicles of Hanuman, I have written Hanuman Chalisa, and I have written the Sundar Kand of Ramayana. And you will find so much depth in the qualities of Hanumanji. And if we can just implement and imbibe a small fraction of what Hanumanji has in our lives will be so much better. Not just as devotees, but as human beings also. So my suggestion to all of you all is that, if all of you, first of all, did you all like the stories that I narrated? If you all love the stories and you would want to know many, many more stories, these books that you're seeing on that table are filled with hundreds of stories exactly like this. If I sit here, I can go on narrating stories for the next two, three months probably. So many stories are there. So I would really want all of you to explore these stories, narrate these stories to your children, relish the stories yourself, learn from these stories yourself, and apply so many of the teachings in your personal lives. So every single day, if you can just open and read 1 or 2 pages and read one story every day, you will learn so much over a period of so many years. And it's been a great pleasure to be here at the ISKCON of Round Rock, and so grateful to all of you all for your patient listening and enthusiastic participation. I'm very grateful to Ramvijay Prabhu for having invited me here and facilitating this whole sessions. And most grateful to all of you for being the most excited and enthusiastic audience. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. It's a green one. Can you all hear me? Yes, okay. Thank you so much. Again, Vilas, let's have another round of applause. I know we're at time, but maybe we can just take a minute or two. Those of you who attended yesterday and today, maybe you can share one thing you heard. We can have 3 devotees share. One thing that you heard either yesterday or today that is something you want to keep remembering and meditating on again. The pop quiz. I have to do this once in a while. What did we hear yesterday and today? I think definitely you have to go get books now at this rate. Right, Prabhu? Manoj Prabhu? Thank you so much, devotees, for sharing. Let's give another round of applause for Prabhu for that wonderful class. So Prabhu already mentioned, of course, Prabhu's books are there in the back. Yesterday, we had announced about Prabhu's entire 6 volumes of Ramayana that we had, and devotees were very enthusiastic and finished all of the stock that Prabhu bought here, which is wonderful. But if any of you did not get a set of the 6 books, it's up there, amazing books, please make sure you can speak with me or with Gopabhav Prabhu. Prabhu will be there, the books. You can give us your information and we will reserve a set for you, and Prabhu will have it shipped here and we can make sure it gets to you. Every book there is exceptional. So my daughter, as soon as when Prabhu was talking about books, she looks at me and she said, "Can I buy one book today?" Because they're so attractive. We read one of the stories this morning, the pastime of Brahma. It is so beautiful. Even like a 2-year-old was just attracted and enamored by it. So please, these are amazing books. I cannot stress enough. Please buy them, especially the kids' books. Also buy them. If even you have older children, that's okay. They're great gifts to give to your friends and family. Prabhu said something yesterday, which as a devotee, as someone who does books, it's one thing I'm going to keep remembering that Prabhu shared yesterday, is that these books are investment, and that for 500 years these books will last, and 5 generations will actually get value from this book. It's the best deal possible. So please make sure to take some of these books today. Will be again available. You can pay through credit card, cash, check, Venmo, Cash App, Square. You can give us jewelry also. We accept anything. Just like Hanuman gave a ring of Lord Ram, we accept jewelry also. Conversion rate, I can't tell you. Oh, wonderful. So that's why today was a preview of the quiz that will come next time when Prabhu comes. And we really hope, again, Shubhalas, Prabhu, thank you so much. We really look forward to your next visit. I'm not saying we hope you come back again. I'm already saying we look forward to your next visit, because I'm hoping the next visit is going to happen. So, I'd like to also thank all the devotees for coming out last 2 days, because it's been weeknights, and really appreciate you taking the time and coming in. Devotees who cooked prasadam and cleaned up. Did you have something to share? Yes. Ramaji Prabhu will say something.
Thank you, Shilas Prabhu, for taking the time and coming here. We are very grateful. I still remember the conversation we had for maybe 5 minutes when we met in GEV after Prabhu spent time with the teenagers when we were there for the summer camp and the internship. And one of the things that really struck me about him, that his focus in sharing his, experience, which has been, collected over a lot of time, a lot of effort with the youth. And this morning, Prabhu was sharing with me some of the plans that I cannot withhold in my heart until you give me the material to share. But 2 really key focus areas for him going forward. One is the youth, girls in a separate group and the boys in a separate group, between the ages of 12, 13, and 17, to get them ready for public speaking, college, leadership, those kind of things. Because Prabhu has a lot of experience, given his PhD thesis was in leadership qualities from Valmiki Ramayana. So, and then he has written these 40-odd books, which is culmination of all his research and learnings and experience. And that is something that Prabhu is looking forward to start very soon with a limited set of students across North America. So many of us have children and teenagers, and also that will be one of our areas where we will be sharing more information. But the second one for me personally, selfishly, was Prabhu talked about that he's going to start a separate group for people like us who are interested in learning corporate leadership. Prabhu has spent a lot of time in his life mentoring leaders back in India, in various corporations and startups and things like that. So he wants to give back to the community here in the US as well, and he'll be starting one of those programs very soon with a limited set of individuals. And I'm personally looking very, very much forward to it, Prabhu. And we'll be sharing more information with all of you as well, those who are interested to join that program with Prabhu. But again, thank you we have a lot of gratitude in our heart to, for you to come here and share your time with us. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Ramajit Prabhu. The next part of the program is Aarti. After Aarti, we'll have Nashinga prayers and then Prashadam. To avoid doing announcements after that, so devotees can spend time looking in the books. And Prabhu, do we announce about tomorrow? Yeah? Yes, right? So tomorrow, we are celebrating a very intimate Garba at the temple. It's going to be outside to celebrate Sharat Purnima. So we invite devotees to come for that. It is not being advertised publicly. It's a smaller event. So we invite everyone to come. And this Sunday is the most auspicious month of Kartik. Starts on Sunday. So please, please come on Sunday. Bring your family, bring your friends. After class, we will be offering lamb to Shishirada, to Damodar. And please make sure that you invite everyone to come because benefit of offering the lamp is immense. So thank you, Prabhu, for coming and helping us get into the mood of Kartik, which is as much about Lord Ram as much as it's about Lord Damodar. So we really appreciate that. So with that, we request everyone to please stand. We'll get ready for Aarti, then Nashinga prayers, and then Prashadam. Hare Krishna.
Meet the teachers after the...
Yes, yes, yes.
This is the curriculum.
Yes. I'm also into the corporate front. I'm very interested in.
हरे कृष्ण। श्री श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी भगवान की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की। नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। ओम विष्णुपदाय नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, hey! Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, hey. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय राधा कुंज बिहारी, राधा कुंज बिहारी श्री राधे। जय जय जगन्नाथ, जगन्नाथ बलदेव, जय जय सुभद्रा। जय गौरनिताय, 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 जय गौरनिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल। गौर प्रेमानंदे। Requesting everyone to please bow down.
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्रोत श्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्रोत श्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवासारी गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की। वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरा धाम की, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गंगा माई की, यमुना माई की, तुलसी देवी की, भक्ति देवी की, संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, बृहद मृदंग की, सामवेद भक्त वृंद की, गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Nitai Gora Hari भगवान की, भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे।
Karika Jive Patavi Shaya Shagore Talamata Jivantira Huishimati Take Jitaka Tila Sansare Tishabaya Dayamukari Vali Rasaswa Pesha Andira Sara Kisha Gole Nako Kita Janita Janita Jakisha Chit Pavune Chananda Vimate Bahu Sira Shati Gola Vatavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jai